This is the Cold Cases. I'm your host, Dustin Terry. And today we have with us Jody Walsh, who is Robin Abrams' sister. Robin Abram was a sheriff deputy in Will County in Illinois. And she went missing after she filed a sexual harassment complaint against the other officers. And we're, first off, Jody, who was Robin?
Robin was our baby sister. We had there was 4 girls in our family, and she was the baby. I'm the second oldest, and she was just a delight. Sister
Yeah.
that I would
Now, yeah,
always fight for, and I'll never quit.
yeah, and it's been since October 4th, it's been 35 years since she went missing.
Correct. Out of Will
Yeah.
County.
And one of the one of the things I noticed when researching this was it was obviously a cover up, and it was obviously, power, corruption, and secrecy. And so Tony Marquez, who has passed on, hopefully met his maker.
He did.
He had, yeah, and he had a restraining order against him, and she was bringing all these charges against the whole sheriff's department, sexual harassment and everything. And one of the things I wanted to ask you is why I mean, it's obvious to most people that it was Tony Marquez and some other people involved, but could you tell us more about how she was in a relationship with him, and why you think he was involved?
Yes. Robin was 28 and met this Tony through the police academy, and he was 48 and told her he was divorced and that he had no ties, and she's dating him for now 6 months and actually found out he was divorced. I'm sorry, he was married. And she broke it off. And I'm going to correct you. He had restraining orders against her, and she had them against him. It was issued by Judge Bua, who has passed away. So there was, kind of back and forth. So, but she met him, they dated, and then she found out, and after that's when all of it broke loose. And you want me to go into detail?
Now, yes, I want you to please go into detail.
All right, let's start out with one day my mom and Robin, well, mom and dad just bought a new van, and Robin and mom went to do some errands, and he seen them, and he beat my mom and dad's car in with a baseball bat. He had Robin's tire slashed many times. So that was one of the very first order of protections mom and Robin got against him. And as time goes by, my mom and Robin were in Robin's car in Beecher, Illinois. I'm sorry, in Will County Fairground one day, and she got pulled over on a side street by a white unmarked van, and Tony Marquez hopped out with a couple of his other friends in the police force. They handcuffed her in the car, and they pulled her out of the car through the window. And my mom was in the car and saw this, and they beat her head on the hood of the car. And another police officer named Mr. Knickrum, he lived in the area, and he heard noise and went out there and says, "What are you guys doing?" And as a matter of fact, he was brought down years later to do a deposition to see if they were going to press charges. Nothing came out of that because of the corruption so deep. But the worst part was when she was pulled over, he ran her off the road and had her arrested and she was stuck in a cell with 10 male felons uncharged for 8 hours in Will County Jail in Joliet.
Oh,
It was because of this
oh
man.
my gosh.
And that's when she got the lawyer. Yeah. And then right before she made her complete full term to be a police officer, because she was on, the trial period, she got fired.
Mm-hmm.
But she got fired from John Johnson, and at the time he was running again for sheriff. And he was best friends with Tony Marquez. A lot of them in the police department at that time, they went to school together. They knew each other. They went to bars drinking at night. They were the buddies. And since Robin didn't comply to his sickness of, we don't stand for that kind of stuff. He was married, And he just wouldn't let her go. He wouldn't let go. And she did give a deposition when she sued, was suing for wrongful termination and sexual harassment. She gave the deposition to the state side, which is the Joliet and State Police side. And walking out of that one, the next one would have been the October 24th when she disappeared. The next one close to that is when she gave her deposition with her lawyer. So it would have been her side, but they already were fed all the information and all the evidence that she had for Will County. And right after that, on October 4th, before she even got to do her deposition for them, she disappeared. Now, that's
Yeah,
interesting, isn't it?
and the thing is, it is interesting because it's obvious it was the whole. I mean, to me, it feels obvious it was the whole sheriff's department that knew, would have known who did this and everything, and they didn't hardly investigate it. They just wanted to sweep it under the rug.
Well, it's funny that the whole deposition that she gave for 8 hours just about disappeared. Nobody knows where that file is. I tried to get it many times. It's gone. Evidence is gone. They did find her car in Harvey with her purse in it and her camera. The Will County police officers drove her car from Harvey back to Laraway Road, where the police station was for Will County. The people that she was suing actually came
Oh
and
my
took her
gosh.
car and brought it back to there. And they said they found blood in it. And they said that there was a pair of Tony Romo, which is John Romo, which is Tony Marquez's stepbrother, pair of his jeans and their fingerprints on the car. Nothing was done. The evidence is gone.
Yeah,
And we were
and
told that.
and
Go ahead, hon.
no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
We were told that after that incident, the state police got involved. So they took it out of Will County's jurisdiction and put it in Illinois State Police Department's hand. Well, I think I can name names. Ken Coppice and his Paul Coppice, they're all state police, which are also all friends with the boys in blue over here in Will County. They're all friends. Some of them were related to each other. So it was just as bad putting in the states of Illinois' thing to help us find out stuff. Nothing came out of it. And then I'm going to give you this little bit of information that no one's heard yet. Back when they dug up the house over there in Joliet where Romo poured concrete, and they made a big to-do out of it, had cadaver dogs from Quantico, and they found a bone here, Dustin. They found a bone. It was an Indian bone from an old Indian burial ground. Just one bone in the whole ground. And they told this to myself, my husband, my sister Donna, who's still alive, and our deceased cousin Sherry. And then nothing came of it. So maybe a year or two later, we were called in again for an update. And they says, what are you talking about? We didn't find no bone. We never told you that. That's a lie. They told all four of us. And the next thing I did then was call the coroner's office. I says, was there a bone found? He says, there was never a bone found. If there was, he was chewing me out. I says, well, they told me there was a bone found. I was just checking. So they covered everything up. Everything is,
So yeah.
ridiculous.
So this, even all these years later, you get the state police involved, and they're part of the corruption as well. And where else do you go? I mean, do you go to the FBI, or I mean, like, everybody involved in this? Everybody involved in this is corrupt.
Okay, we went to the FBI. Head Officer Lockwood. Lockwood was also a friend of that group there. So there was a connection with
Oh
FBI.
wow.
There was a
Okay.
connection with the state police and the Will County. I mean, as you see nowadays, conspiracies are being proven, correct? We know a lot of things that, we think
Right.
aren't happening, but really did happen. Well, Lockwood, the person who got a hold of me in 2012 to tell me about this cover up, which I always thought that, we could trust the Will County. She went to the FBI first. They threw her out of their office. They threw her out of their office when she was telling them this. This was Lockwood at the FBI. So we got nothing there. So I watched the crime shows, and there's a gentleman by the name of Tad DeBias. He is a lawyer who prosecutes no-body cases. He was so willing to help. He really wanted to help. They would not allow it. Neck Research out of the West Coast wanted to help. Another entity that helps people with missing family members and whatnot. And VDOC Society out of Pennsylvania. These are all former detectives and scientists. Nobody can get anything out of them for any help because they would not allow it. So that's the point we're at
So
now.
so it's basically, the doors are shut everywhere. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a case as flawed as this, where everybody involved has all these connections, and it's so amazing that they just want this to go away. And thankfully, you as a sister are not letting this go away.
After he died, that I found out he died, the suspect, Marquez, I was going through a lot of physical in my family, so we kind of let it see what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know what else I could do. I'll tell you this much, though. I found out where Romo, the guy that was supposed to have helped him, which was his stepbrother or whatever, he goes to this
Hmm.
VFW in Joliet. And I went in there one day and I asked him if I could hang flyers up. And they says, yeah, sure. So we hung flyers up of my sister, missing person, Robin Abrams, any information. A couple weeks later, I go in again because I got a phone call from a person that knows Tony Romo and says, hey, I'm sorry, John Romo. He says, hey, he's in here now. You want to ask him some questions? I said, sure. So I drove out from where I lived to there, and I couldn't ask him questions because his little wife got in my face. I'm not the kind of, I'm not confrontational, but I will use my voice. And
Hmm.
all the pictures were torn off the wall. All the two of the ones that I hung up, the flyers of my sister, were gone. Were gone. So even at the VFW hall, they protected him and his little wife. They know he did it. I mean, everybody knows he had a hand in it, but the other guy was the one that I assume is the one that really murdered my sister.
Yeah, Tony Marquez.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um, yeah, it is such a messed up situation. I mean, I've never seen so much corruption by so many agencies in, just from viewing this and reading about it and everything. It's astonishing how much they do not want you to speak out. They do not want to bring this up.
I also have every single one of the reports that Tony Marquez wrote on about my sister. I have a stack of them, way big, over hundreds, of all the accusations and all the things that he put. I have every single one of those. They didn't even want to look at it. Every piece of information I gave them, they didn't want to look at it. But I have all this paperwork. I have 2 bins of it, and I have court documents, the ones that I really needed, like the deposition she first gave to them. That would have been so helpful.
Hmm.
People would have gone to jail for that, or even a wrongful death lawsuit. 35 years ago, think of it. We still don't have a death certificate. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for totally, like, not giving up on getting your sister justice, and I think she's proud of you in the afterlife, you know.
She's with mom and
And
dad.
I just want to thank you. Yeah, I want to thank you for speaking up on her behalf and talking to me and so many others, because this is a horrible abuse of power by so many people.
I agree. I agree. And am very grateful to you to do this for us. I appreciate it tremendously. Our family and I thank you. Hopefully something
Yeah.
will happen.